Namaste, friends. We all know that Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in this world. Perhaps some might argue the oldest religion in this world. It has informed the culture of the Indian subcontinent for thousands of years. Even the very name Hinduism is relatively new compared to how old this faith is, and it's often even referred to as Sanatan Dharma or the eternal religion. In the times that we live in today in 2021, with the resurgence of interest in meditation and the teachings of yoga, and also the understanding of the universe that modern science has given us, there is increased interest in these teachings that ancient sages of India have been presenting to us for thousands of years. Now, as wonderful and deep as this faith is, it can be rather confusing, not just for Westerners who did not grow up with this religion, but even for Indians who often are so deeply rooted in the culture that the traditions and the practices can overshadow the mystical teachings and the true spiritual principles that this religion is offering for us. Now, last month, I'm speaking to you in September of 2021. Recently, I offered a 4-part web series, an online class series called Demystifying Hinduism, where I attempted to untangle some of these questions based on the spiritual teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. This class series was based on a book that Swami Kriyananda wrote called The Hindu Way of Awakening. As soon as I started teaching that class, I realized 4 weeks are going to be insufficient for me to cover all this material. This subject is so deep and warrants a lot of discussion, even sometimes interactive discussions, where we can each share stories and questions and discuss them in greater detail. Now, I'm picking from where I left. I already offered this 4-part series that you can find on my YouTube channel. Now, this next step to this course is another online series that I'm going to be offering through Ananda Palo Alto. And this series is also going to be called Demystifying Hinduism, where I'll be sharing 2 class videos every month and also supplemental materials and stories and other resources that I'll be sharing with you every month. And we will also have an opportunity to have question and answers and discussions through a board. This online course, I've been looking forward to it for quite some time now. I think will be a lot of fun. Speaking of me personally, of course, as you can tell, I grew up in India. Not just grew up in India, but also I was deeply rooted in this tradition, both through my family and my own interest in the Indian culture. I studied various traditions and also scriptures, the Sanskrit language and all of that. So I've had a lot of relationship with this faith for many, many years. When I came on to the path of self-realization and I discovered the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda, it was like discovering a treasure. Now I could look at all of these mystical teachings from the highest light in a way that I can practically apply to my own life, to my meditation practices, and deepen spiritually through them. So the purpose of this course is to offer some of that to you. We may not be going into the details of every tradition, every scripture or verses or things like that, but we'll be visiting the spiritual principles that are fundamental to Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism. And we'll also be sharing a lot of stories of great saints and teachers which are illustrative, which are more important sometimes than the scriptures themselves, because the living examples of these truths are much more educational for us than just the dry scripture. So I hope you all can join me. I think this course will be a lot of fun. I'll post the sign up link here below this video. You can find it on anandapaloalto.org. It is being offered through an online platform called Mighty Networks that we are trying out, and there is a cost associated with this course, but do not let that deter you if you're not from the US, if you're from India or somewhere else, and if you wish to join this course, just write to me and I'll be happy to add you in. And I want to have this community where all of us can interact and learn and study the teachings of self-realization and understand the deeper truths that Hinduism is presenting for all of us. So I hope you can join me, and I'll see you there.